In this video, we'll show you how to replace the bumper impact absorber on your Honda Pilot. This is located in the front of the vehicle, behind the bumper cover. Let's get started. We're going to pull up on the shroud that covers the front portion of our engine bay here. There's pop clips on the bottom side holding this in. You want to be careful of your hood latch here. We can just set that off to the side. We can go ahead and remove our front air intake. We just have a couple of clips. I'm using a clip tool. If you have a flathead screwdriver, that'll work as well. We have two at the front and two at the back. We'll set that off to the side. We can remove the middle portion of the intake. We have 11 10mm bolts along the top of the grill here. We're going to go ahead and remove those. Now we need to pry out on this bit of the grill that extends into the headlight here. I'll be using a trim tool. You can certainly use a flathead and a rag. Just pop that out and work our way in. And we can do the same on the other side. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can remove our lug nuts with a 22mm. We'll set those off to the side. It's good to use a magnet tray so you don't kick them all over the place. In the wheel well, we have two Phillips head screws holding the trim onto the fender. You can go ahead and remove those. Now we're just going to pull out on this trim. Under our trim piece, we have another Phillips head screw. We have one screw at the bottom of the front bumper on the inside of the fender. Underneath the front bumper here, we have 8 10mm bolts. We'll remove those. And we have 4 plastic clips as well. I'm using a clip tool, but you can certainly use a flathead screwdriver for this. If we pull back on the fender liner here, we can access our fog light connector. We can push up on the tab, and we'll pull that out. You want to check the terminals for any damage or corrosion. This looks good. Up above that, we have our turn signal connector. Same as the other, push in on the tab and pull out on the connector. These terminals look good. And we can do the same on the other side. Now we can reach behind the bumper. We're going to start pulling it out all along the edge here. There are tabs all along underneath the headlight. It can help to use a flathead screwdriver, pry up a little bit on them. You want to be careful not to damage the bumper or the headlight while doing this. Now we can do the same on the other side. Before pulling the bumper fully away, you want to make sure you have everything disconnected. We have one more connector down on the passenger side. You can undo that, and the bumper comes off. Coming to the driver's side of the body, underneath the headlight here, we have two 14mm bolts. We have a 12mm bolt on the frame rail here. On the passenger side, we have a 12mm bolt instead of the stud. We have three 12mm bolts, one through this hole, one through this hole, and one below the frame itself. Now we can do the same on the other side. We'll remove our 10mm bolt for our battery duct. Now simply lift up on the impact absorber. You have a hook on the passenger side that you have to get it over. And on the driver's side, you just have to get it over the stud. Now we can install our impact absorber. I'm going to get it around the shroud. And get the driver's side over the stud. And hang the passenger side on the hook. We can install our three 12mm bolts into the end of the frame rail. We're going to get all of our hardware started in, and then we can go around and tighten everything down together. We can install the other three 12mm on the other side. Now we can install our side bolts. Snug these down. And tighten down the bolts on the front of the frame rails. On the driver's side, we have the stud with a nut. And get that nut started on. And we'll snug that down. We can go ahead and install the bolt on the passenger side on top of the frame rail. And we'll snug that down. We can torque our 3 front bolts to 16 foot-pounds. We can torque the stud with the nut to 16 foot-pounds. And we can torque the ones on the side to 16 foot-pounds. We can torque the bolt on the top of the frame rail on the passenger side to 16 foot-pounds. We can install our 10mm for the battery duct. And we'll just snug that down. We can plug in the connector for our corner lamps, as well as our fog light. As we're installing the bumper, we'll line up the grille and all of our tabs up at the top. Next, we'll make sure that the bumper is aligned with our headlights on either side. We have a few tabs underneath the headlight. We can go ahead and push in on those. Next, we can push in on the grille trim, make sure all of our tabs get set down, and make sure that all of your bolt holes up top are all in line. We can plug in our fog light and our corner lamp connectors on the driver's side. Now we'll install the Phillips head screws on either side of the front bumper, right behind the trim. And we can work our way from the top, pushing in each tab of the trim. We'll line up our fender liner and install the screws. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can go ahead and install the clips and screws from the bottom side. And we'll snug these up. Back up top, looking in the engine bay, we can go ahead and install all of the bolts and the clips for up here. Now we can run along the grille and snug all of these down. We can install our pieces of the air inlet. We can install our clips. We can reinstall the radiator cover. I'm going to just get it all lined up and then start working along, pushing in until it's all fully seated. When installing our lug nuts, I want to hold in on the bottom. That way the rim is seated against the hub. If you turn one lug nut all the way in, it'll hold it for you. We can snug these down. We'll torque this to 94 foot-pounds in a star pattern using a 22 millimeter.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.